guy.
You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
As far as the eye can see.
Everything the light touches is yours. And you're already gone mute. We're not even 40 seconds in. Okay, seeing his technical difficulties.
It was because I was being a smartass with the fucking intro. So,
Oh, well, that's because the StreamYards knew you were being stupid and decided to mute you.
The StreamYard is being a little bitch today, hence the reason why everybody's screen is just full Casey and Amanda with no background. But,
I see nothing wrong with that. I have a very pleasant face to look at. Thank you very much. And you're not too bad either.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You look freshly shaven and trimmed.
I did actually shave the goatee on Monday. So, thank you for noticing. But now that we're 8 minutes into the freaking show, welcome everybody to your favorite movie review based podcast. This is An Evening at the Movies, the podcast where we eat the stale popcorn and we drink the watered down sodas and talk about
Costco rosé.
Well, I mean, at this point, 6.5 years in, if you don't expect that one to be having Costco rosé, then I can't help you with that one anymore, people.
True story. True story.
So,
hey, sometimes it's a red.
The what?
I said sometimes it's a red.
I mean, it is per your mood, whatever you decide to be imbibing with this week, or on the sip list, or whatever. So, all good things aside, but yes, favorite movies and why we love them. Joining us as always, though, everybody's favorite co-hostess on that side of my screen. Say hi, co-hostess.
Hi, co-hostess.
Are you a jet this week?
When you're a jet all the way. I actually think I might be a shark, though, so we'll see.
I have a smart-ass comment for that. Not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole, though.
I think it is Shark Week, actually. So, no, not my Shark Week. Like Shark Week.
Oh,
Shark
thank
Week.
God! I was like, I said I'm not going down that road. Damn it!
Well, and I wouldn't say I think it's Shark Week. I would just say it is. It was either last week or it's this week. I saw stuff about it, but anyway. Oh no, just kidding. July 26th. So it's not, but we're in the right month. So, yeah. My Shark Week. My Shark Week is very undetermined, kind of like Bruce when he decides to kill someone. You never know where or when it's going to show up. Gotta love perimenopause. If you know, you know. And if you don't, count yourself lucky.
Anyway. I have no clue, nor do I have any desire to have a clue.
No, you really don't. You don't. I'm really trying to make George do one of those menstrual cramp simulators, but he doesn't want to. I'm like, yeah, because you're a little bitch baby.
Because I'm like, those things like you see on like the TikTok videos where they like attach it to your stomach, and then the significant other just sits there and fucks with the damn button and makes you scream like a little girl.
Yes. And that's not even as accurate because you're feeling that on the exterior of your stomach. And of course you're going to feel it underneath, but Menstrual cramps are inside your body, in your inner organs, radiating to all your other organs. Like, it's not, but even that, he's like, no, I'm not doing that. That's stupid. I'm like, it's because you can't handle it. Because I would make him do it while he works, while he drives, while he cleans, if he ever cleans. But I would make him do it while he has to function normally, not just sit on the couch and play. Anyway.
You say that like he has no idea what housework is.
I guarantee you there are a lot of cleaning products in this house that he has no idea where they are. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
For him to know where they are would mean he would have to be home to discover where they are. And as we were talking about the other day, he's home about 1% of the damn month.
It's getting better, but he is out of town, but on his way home as we speak. So anyway. All right. So
I was going to say, isn't he home by now?
No. He should be landing anytime. And I have to watch for a text because I told him to get food on his way home. So I have to make sure he gets me food.
Kolaches?
No. Kolaches are a breakfast item, thank you very much, or a snack item throughout the day, but they're not a dinner item.
You can have breakfast for dinner.
True, but a kolache isn't like, it would be like a amuse-bouche to the other meal that's coming up. Kolaches are like this big.
You say amuse-bouche and kolaches in the same sentence, and you make it seem like Buc-ee's is like 5-star cuisine.
Buc-ee's is close to 5-star cuisine. For gas station food and for fast food, Buc-ee's is top tier. And I will accept no criticism of Buc-ee's.
Well, you're not going to get criticism from me. I
there
have literally been in Buc-ee's one time in my life, and I fell in love with it that day. So
it's a cool place.
Good times.
So anyway, I love how we circled
under the sun that you want.
That's true. I love how we circled from being a jet all the way around to Buc-ee's, and now we're going to come back to being a jet.
Well, yes, but before we talk about being a jet, before we get to the being a jet, though, we have to let everybody know that we do have a movie to talk about, but we also have a theme to talk about, as always, because it is the year of the theme. Not going to run down that long list again because I'll fucking forget something. We know I always do. But we've had some great themes this year. If you are listening and haven't checked them out, we highly recommend you go and check them out now. Not now, after we're done with this episode. Please. We appreciate all the views. But currently, we are in week, I would say week 2, but technically this is still, I guess, week 1 because Hamilton came out on Sunday and this is Wednesday of the same week. So,
fair.
Opening week part 2. We'll go with that. So, yes, last episode we talked about Hamilton. We got
Alexander
Hairspray.
Hamilton.
We got Hairspray coming up. We've got Little Shop of Horrors coming up. Crossing fingers. Hopefully, Dre will be here for that episode. And South Pacific. But before we can get to all of those movies, we have to go to the West Side.
West Side.
And talk about being a jet, or if you're so inclined, a shark.
So much snapping in this movie.
Well, even like you said the other day when you turned it on and watched it, I think it was the day you sent me that picture of that worst opening in cinematic history.
Yeah, it takes way too long and there's nothing happening. You think your TV's glitching.
I rewatched the movie again last night so I could do my notes. I'm not going to lie. It is 15 minutes before anything of significance happens in this movie.
Yeah. No dialogue, no singing. There's some dancing and there's a lot of
And just walking across the, down the streets
yeah.
of New York, just it's like, okay, I get it. You have rhythm and you're, what? Fucking do something.
Yeah.
But
Well, and we'll get into it.
no.
We'll get into it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we will get into it because there's a lot to unpack with this movie. But if you couldn't tell from the little rabbit holes that we tend to go down, we are going to be talking about West Side Story.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
You're a jet all the way from your first cigarette to your last dying day. Okay, sorry. I'm making my
hence the name of the month. Sing along with Amanda month. So, but yeah, I'm going to go right down the road really quick though and just say, if you were curious about which version of the movie we're talking about, it doesn't really matter because for the most part, with literally like 3 exceptions, I think, the original with Natalie Wood or Natalie.
That's right, Natalie Wood. Yes.
I'm old. Cut me some slack.
You know, one of my favorite things to talk about. We're going to get to that too. Anyway, Natalie Wood's untimely
number
demise.
2. But yeah, the original or the Steven Spielberg remake, it's basically the same movie. And I, honest to God, think Steven Spielberg went through and just took the original script and turned it into his own movie.
Well, it's based off a Broadway musical, so theoretically they're operating off the same script. So
yeah, but still,
you could have done something different. But
remakes still do tend to go a little bit off skewed. But
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I mean, other than the visual like quality of the like what you're watching on the screen is a lot better,
obviously,
in Spielberg's movie. And the fact that the shop owner is not an old dude. Oh. It is played by Rita Moreno.
Oh, that's cute. Okay.
So, little throwback to the original movie, though, because, well, most of the people from the original movie are retired, or if they're not retired, not of this earth anymore.
Yeah.
Except basically Rita Moreno.
I'm going to assume the casting in the newer movie is a lot more authentic.
Oh, yeah.
So, Rita Moreno is basically the only Hispanic person in this movie. And she is Puerto Rican, but.
Yeah. But yeah, those are basically the 3 big glaring.
Yeah.
Differential or different aspects between the 2 movies. So you literally could Michael Myers. But the homework assignment for the week was to watch the original. Yes. So we are going to be talking about Natalie Wood. We'll be talking about Rita Moreno. We'll be talking about all the other people so many people. Just so many people. But before we get to that, though, I do have some background information. I'm going to be nice and not fuck with my co-host this week. I fucked with her last episode. I'll be nice and let her have a week off.
Okay.
So, for those of you who don't know, West Side Story released on December 13th, 1961. It was directed by Jerome Robbins and Robert Wise. released by United Artists, had a $6.75 million budget
Oof.
and made $44.1 million at the box office.
Impressive.
And I did go online and do the inflation calculator just because I was curious as to what that would translate to in today dollars. So if it had this level of success today, that would basically translate to about a $495 million box office.
Nice.
For a musical,
Yeah.
that's a pretty big box office. It is currently streaming on the Amazon Prime. And I have a couple Rotten Tomato scores that I would like to let you have an opportunity to guess.
Okay.
The tomato meter, I was just going to say the tomato meter is based on 115 reviews.
Okay. I'm going to go a little lower on the popcorn meter because I suspect that people who have watched it for the first time more recently are going to be calling out some of the glaring problems that this movie has. But for the tomato meter, I know this movie is very beloved. So I'm going to go 91%.
Missed it by that much. 92%.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I covered the spread. That's nice. Easily.
Okay, Chancy Greif. All right. 100,000 plus audience reviews.
Okay.
What would you like to lowball this movie with?
I mean, I'm not going to lowball it much, but I'm going to say 86.
Missed it.
I think that might still be high.
That much.
Sweet.
84%.
Okay. I think that's a little low, but again, if people who are watching it in the current times, I understand that rating.
And that topic is going to come up
yes
in this episode at some point. So
well,
but yes,
before we do that, let's talk about the awards and the plot. Now, Casey didn't mention this.
So many awards.
Yeah. For people that don't know, West Side Story, the film, is based on the Broadway show of the same name, music and lyrics by Leonard Bernstein and Stephen Sondheim, who, besides Rodgers and Hammerstein, were like the it people of the Broadway scene for a long time. So can't go wrong with that. The original Broadway run received 6 Tony nominations and won 2. So it wasn't as celebrated as the movie. The movie, however, cleaned the fuck up. Academy Awards, 31 wins and 11 nominations. Now, before I go into that, the most glaring snub here is that Natalie Wood was not nominated for Best Actress, or I don't know if they would consider her supporting, but she was nominated for Splendor in the Grass the same year. So I still think she should have been nominated for West Side Story, but whatever. But it won Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor for George Chakiris. Rita Moreno won Best Supporting Actress, Best Director, and then, it was nominated for all the screenplay, cinematography, art direction, costume design, like everything. It won Best Sound, Best Film Editing, like it just a shit ton. So, Golden Globes, it won Best Picture, musical. Richard Beymer, I don't know how to say his name.
I think Beymer
won the one that played Tony, won Best Actor, got Best Director. Rita Moreno won again, and then George Chakiris won again. It was nominated for a bunch of other stuff, and then obviously it's part of the National Film Registry preservation for blah, 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 and it got put into that in 97. What? Why are you laughing at me?
I purposely left that out of the notes just because I wanted to see if you were going to try and do it.
It's what is it selected for? Cultural, historical, and aesthetic contributions.
Yes.
So,
and on top of it, I don't know if you had this one in the notes or not either, but as far as the American Film Institute goes, it is ranked as the number 2 greatest musical of all time.
Okay. What's number 1, just out of curiosity?
Behind Singing in the Rain.
Fair. So yeah, this movie. Okay, that's fair. This movie cleaned up. And I looked up who all was nominated for Best Actress. And like I said, Natalie Wood was already nominated, but she didn't win. Sophia Loren won, but she was up against Sophia Loren, Audrey Hepburn, Piper Laurie, Geraldine Page. I don't actually know who that is, but anyway, she got her nomination, just not for this.
No, but some of the other people in that, list of nominees though are some of the biggest names in Hollywood history. So
yeah,
it's not like it's a huge.
Right.
He still got a nom, but at the same time.
And Splendor in the Grass is great.
Especially today with the amount of nominations they give out every year.
Yeah.
She would have gotten nominated for both.
Which, speaking of really quick, we don't talk about this very long. Emmy nominations came out today. The Pit cleaned up. Hacks cleaned up. Hacks actually broke a record for the most, I think, overall nominations for a comedy show for one season and the most nominations for a final season. If you guys haven't watched Hacks, it's great. Go watch it. And
go ahead.
Oh, and my girl Taylor Swift received 5 nominations for the Eras Tour, the final show. So I was excited about that. And also congratulations to her and Travis because they got married. Okay.
I knew we weren't getting through the episode without that one.
I have my just married with the TNT, how they announced it, bracelet right here. Anyway.
I'm not going to, I shared your friendship bracelet post on Facebook.
Well, thank you.
Because that's how I fucking roll.
Yeah, the Pit has their supporting actor nominations take up most of each category. It's insane. So good for them.
And the comment I was going to make was there ever any doubt that the Pit was not going to fucking clean up when it comes to nominations? Whether it wins all the awards or not, that's up for debate.
It did really well last year.
It did. And at the same time, some of that's probably going to have to, mellow out a little bit, probably. But at the same time, I would be willing to bet you that I can tell you who the best actor in a drama series is going to this year.
Oh, it's got to be Noah. I didn't even look at the other nominees, but
because once they read Noah's name off, it's just everybody else.
Yeah.
Just eye candy.
I mean, unfortunately, he's just. I mean, I guess we never know. But if you want to base it on last year and how good this most recent season was, okay. So we've got Sterling K. Brown in Paradise, which he got nominated last year, didn't win. Gary Oldman, Slow Horses. Mark Ruffalo, Task, which Task is something I want to watch. I haven't heard anybody talk about it, but it looks good. Rufus Sewell, The Diplomat, and Noah Wiley's going to run away with this. There's no question. But anyway, off topic. Sorry.
The little bit that I've heard, if there was somebody that was going to jump up and bite Noah in the butt, it would probably be Ruffalo.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I don't see it happening. Noah is...
I mean... Yeah, that show looks really good, but I haven't seen it, so I can't say. The only other kind of bummer that I thought, and I don't know how other people feel, but the final season of Stranger Things got some nominations, but it didn't get any of the major nominations. not a best series, no acting awards. It just got nominated for all the technical awards. So that was kind of a bummer, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, much like with the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, horror doesn't get any love with the Emmy nominees.
Yeah. Well,
it
the
does
Stranger
tend to
Things
get a
used
little
to
bit
get some,
more
but
than the Academy gives out, but
fair.
still.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, back to West Side Story. Real quick, in case you don't know, West Side Story is a modern musical adaptation of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet set in 1950s New York City. It explores the tragic romance between Tony, a former member of the white American gang the Jets, and Maria, the sister of the leader of the Puerto Rico gang, the Sharks. So I think it's important to note that, yes, the Puerto Ricans are considered immigrants, but by this time in 1961, and I think even in 1957, Puerto Rico was an American territory by then. So, and I have some comments about their rivalry in regards to the immigrant part, because it's kind of comical to me, but I don't know. I'll let you run the shenanigans and we'll get into it. So let's do it.
So Puerto.
I mean, it's in the script, so I want to say that happened in the early 50s, but I can't give you an exact year.
Yeah, Google doesn't say what year they became part of.
Are you sure?
Well, it probably does if I go through and dig deeper, but just on like the surface, I didn't see anything. But
December 10th, 1898, by the Treaty of Paris. Okay, so there we go. It's been a long time.
So
okay. I'm sure some history nerds are yelling at us right now for not knowing that, but sorry.
The histories are hard for me.
But 1898, and we're in 1957, and people are still, that's a quarter of a century basically, and they're still calling them immigrants is interesting to me. But
I mean, it's no different than certain political leaders talking about needing to have meetings with the president of Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he doesn't even...
Not naming any names.
Yeah. It would help if he knew that he was the president of Puerto Rico, but you know what? You're right. That guy should be fired immediately. Let's get him out.
Not gonna lie. Not speaking one way or in favor of one way or the other, but if you don't know what the U.S. territories are, pretty sure you have no business sitting in the Oval Office.
Or any elected office for that matter.
And that could be...
unless it's like a city office, then okay. If you're a city official, I'll give you a pass.
But yeah.
If you're a U.S. government official, no.
Yeah. And I would say that if it was Biden, I would say that if it was Obama, I'd say that if it was Bush, Clinton, whoever.
Yeah.
And Bush, you should know the dynamics of your country. So.
Agreed.
All right. Anyway, so we're kind of sort of getting at it with the whole aspect of the mild racism. So let's just go ahead and get this portion of the discussion out of the way. Is there anything that you feel like anywhere that this movie fails, in your opinion?
I mean, obviously the blatant racism, and again, not saying it's okay, but that is how people talked then. And I guess the point I was going to make, and I'll go ahead and say this, it's really interesting to me. Like, I understood that New York City was a city of immigrants in the 50s. And, probably second generation, like most of the Jets are second generation. Their parents were immigrants, they're first generation Americans. Their hatred for the Puerto Ricans, who are just as American as they are, is so wild to me. Like, you think because you're one generation removed from immigrating from another country that you're better than these people who are just as American as you are. Like, you know, I get like gangs and turf wars and whatever, but the racism was so hard for me because it's like, you're all fucking immigrants. Just like now, we're all fucking immigrants, like at some point, unless you're Native American. So it was wild how they were just like, you know, we're American and they're not. And, you know, but the racial slurs did go both ways. And that was kind of the other thing that was like, as much as you're calling them a SPIC, they're calling you a, you know, a WAP or a Pollock or whatever it is. Pollock. I think I said it wrong. Whatever it is, they're using the European slurs the same as these kids are using the Hispanic slurs. And it's like, you're all, I mean, technically the white kids' parents are more immigrant than the Puerto Ricans are, you know? Yeah. I guarantee all those Puerto Rican people were born in Puerto Rico while it was an American territory. Not to mention, these kids go on and on about how shitty their parents are. They're all drug addicts, alcoholics, and abusers. So it's like, why do you think you're so much better? Like, I don't know.
None of them are freaking better in the long run. So that's only my own personal opinion.
Well, no, I mean, that's correct.
I mean, both sides of the equation, both gangs are assholes.
Right. And turf wars are stupid, but, you know, I know not much about gangs and whatever, but I just think it's dumb.
I mean, the turf wars, I'm not necessarily saying that West Side Story introduced them, but, you know, in so many different aspects of pop culture, the rivalry / war between the Jets and the Sharks bled into some, I mean, you could kind of sort of a little bit see it even in like Grease or fucking Michael Jackson's Beat It video.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a specific, he's dancing around singing Beat It while the other people were having a knife fight in a garage circled up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. At this point, if you haven't seen Beat It, go watch the damn video. But
to be fair, so I'd say that for Gene, this is representative of how New York City was back then. New York City is so interesting to me, you know, at the turn of the century when people started immigrating, because everybody came from all these countries and then turned New York City into all of these tiny little own countries. Everybody had their own little borough and their neighborhood, and this neighborhood didn't mix with this neighborhood. And it's like, I thought these people came to America for opportunity, but at the same time, you realize everybody's coming over. Even if you're a white Italian immigrant, you're going to have to share the neighborhood park with the Puerto Ricans or the Germans or Japanese. Like, and New York City is still, it's a lot different now, but still does have its very little small areas where, you know, I mean, Chinatown, and Chinatown is like all, I mean, other than the tourists, obviously, everybody that lives there is Chinese. They speak Chinese. Everything's very authentic, like, and Little Italy, and, you know, it's just, it's not as bad as it was, but that is how it was. They created their own version of their country, but in New York City, so they could be American.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, you're gonna have to blend.
Yeah. Well, no, and literally, like, one of my all-time favorite Santana songs, Maria Maria.
Yeah.
You remind me of a West Side Story.
Yeah.
Growing up in Spanish Harlem.
Yeah. You know. Maria. It's so good. And then, like we touched on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I've heard people screaming females' names a hell of a lot worse in other movies. So I won't fault him for that one.
No, I mean, I like it. Stella. Such a good one. Every time I would watch Modern Family with Jay and Gloria's dog Stella, I would always think Stella every time they would talk about her. And then obviously we have to talk about the fact that this is a white cast wearing brown face, basically, other than Rita Moreno. I mean,
suntan face.
well, yeah, that's why I said brown, but yeah, they've got the dark tan makeup on, which watching back now is so rough because you can see that in a lot of older movies, and it's like when you watch Three Amigos, oh my god, it's so fucking obvious. George Katsikis is actually Greek. Not being
farthest thing possible from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Natalie Wood was Russian and like Eastern European, so it's just Rita Moreno is the only authentic. But again, for the time, 1961, that tracks. So
yeah, I mean. So, are we going to reference the fact that your favorite Hollywood rule popped up in West Side Story as well?
What?
The Hays Code.
Oh God, yeah. Luckily, it wasn't as bad. Wasn't as bad. Again, Psycho's probably one of the worst ones I've seen.
I've only noticed it one time in that movie, and it was at the end after they had their little on their knees.
Yeah. They kept this pretty chaste.
Exchanging vows and all of that.
Yeah. Explain the Hays Code for the people that don't know.
So basically, the way I understand it was there was a set of guidelines / standards that movies had to adhere to back in the day, where kissing had to be done in a certain fashion, which generally meant no puckering, no tongues, no nothing, or just like, okay.
Well, but what's interesting is that
annoying as hell.
Interracial romance was a part of the Hays Code, but they had it in this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's ugh. If you watch Psycho and you watch the way they kiss, you will understand what we're talking about. And what's crazy is that this was a self-imposed rule by Hollywood. This wasn't even like somebody like, the Academy of Motion Pictures and Television made this rule. They just made this rule on their own and said, this is what we're going to do, dumbasses. Like, you're limiting your own creativity. Do you not realize that? Because it wasn't just the kissing. It was profanity. It was sex. It was homosexuality. It was, interracial romance. It was, toilet humor. Like, it was all this stuff that they did to themselves for some reason.
As it became ever prevalent in the movie Psycho, which huge freaking question. Huge question marks over that one with sexuality. But yeah. We're not going back down that road again. So
I think sorry.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, as far as like the racism is being part of the movie that doesn't work, do you feel like this movie could be modernized and have the racism eliminated and still work?
I don't think so, because I don't know. Do they still use all the racial slurs in the newer one? Because I haven't seen it.
No, I mean,
but
a lot of that. I think it's
if you're portraying it at the same time, you have to use it. If the new movie is saying this is 1957, 1961, whatever time, you have to use it. It's like if you're making, like, for example, Django Unchained. If you're making a movie about slavery, you have to use the N-word because that's how it was. If you were to modernize it and make it in today's society, I don't even know what you would do, but you would use whatever the modern vernacular is, I guess.
Yeah, and at the same time, the remake was done by Spielberg, and unless it's over the top, disgustingly inappropriate, Spielberg's not going to get slapped with anything.
Right.
He's a directorial god.
It doesn't feel as, it doesn't feel as authentic and it doesn't hit as hard if they don't use the same language. Right, wrong, or indifferent, and it's wrong. I mean, I guess I could just say that it's wrong to call a Hispanic person a spick or call a Irish bird is WAP Irish? No, Italian. WAP is Italian. Whatever.
Italian.
I don't. It's wrong to use those slurs, but at the same time, that's what ignited people. Kind of like, when the cop comes in and he's like, "How's your dad doing with the DTs?" And your mom, I heard, was like a whore or whatever. Like, that cop knew how to anger those people just like he did the Puerto Ricans. Like, you have to, for you to understand why these people are so upset. And when I say these people, I mean all of them.
Yeah.
You have to have the triggering language because it has to hit you where it hurts, or you don't understand why they're behaving that way. Because as an outsider
it's
looking
a certain
in,
level of hatred between the two gangs.
right? As an outsider looking in, all of this is completely fucking stupid. You're arguing over a park and a river and a playground, and you're arguing over where people get to go and who they get to interact with, and it's
our neighborhood, not yours.
Yeah, it's nobody's neighborhood. It belongs to the community. So, fighting over that
belongs
stuff
to City Hall, but
yeah,
whatever.
The only other thing I was going to say that doesn't really work for me is that the Jets are like a bunch of opies. They are the least threatening looking guys I have ever seen. And that opening, they're walking around and snapping and dancing, and then they show up at the basketball court and people are scared of them. I'm like, these guys look like my mom would have them over for dinner, or I'd see them at the Happy Days diner, or they'd be mowing my lawn. These guys are not scary. Like, they look very wholesome. And we're supposed to believe they're bad boys.
I
while
compare.
They're playing. No.
Yeah, no. I compare the Jets in West Side Story to like the T-Birds in Grease. The T-Birds are more threatening and menacing.
Agreed.
The Jets are. There's no two ways about it. To me,
I mean, Kaneki is pretty threatening.
Well, I mean, he openly spreads his seed all over the fucking world, and yeah, a hickey from Kaneki is like a Hallmark card.
Yeah, but until any of these guys pull out knives, I'm not scared of any of them. Obviously, we're supposed to be scared.
I'm not even necessarily scared of any of them when they pull out a damn knife.
True, because they're just like dancing around each other, like, like, it's just, I found it very hard to be intimidated by any of these people, especially the Jets. And so it was, it gets, but later in the movie, when you're involved in a love story and, somebody finally gets stabbed and shit gets real, it becomes a little more serious. But up until that part, I am not taking any of this seriously. And that's not, I hate to say that as a criticism, but I feel like they should have all been a little more intimidating in some way. I think Bernardo was a little more intimidating with his language and with his demeanor, like with his looks and with like his like thinly veiled threats and the way that he could speak. What's his name? Fez? Oh my God, why am I blanking on his name?
Oh,
the main guy who gets killed in the Jets.
The Justin Timberlake looking motherfucker.
Like, I'm not scared of these guys at all. I'm not scared of the way they talk. I'm not scared of the way they walk. I'm not scared of any of their so-called threats. Like, they look like innocent little boys.
No, and I'm not trying to make light of the fact, but to me, the Jets look like a 1950s version of a young Backstreet Boys or NSYNC.
Yeah, they look like a doo-wop band that got thrown out of the club and now they're just hanging out on the street. I'm sorry. I refuse to be intimidated by anybody who uses the word G as much as they do. Oh, gee whiz. What? No.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
The name you were looking for is Riff.
Riff, thank you. I don't know why my brain.
I knew it was literally like right there in the front of my head, and I'm like, fuck it, Google.
Even Chico, Chico looked so sweet and innocent. Now later when he got really mad, he looked a little more intimidating, but it's like, I'm supposed to be afraid of Chico? they're like, Chico's gonna go after Tony. I'm like, yeah, Chico looks like a little boy I could snuggle with, like in a non-creepy way. That sounded creepy, Jesus. But you know what I mean. They're just
No, yeah. I mean,
I'm not scared of these people.
if I had to pick a more intimidating gang of the two, I'm picking the Sharks every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
Just because when the shit hits the fan, they tend to have that facial expressions more in
they're a lot
line
more
with,
serious.
yeah, where unfortunately the Jets, it's really hard to find them intimidating. Even when the shit hits the fan, it's hard to find them intimidating.
But and we don't have to like get into this, but I actually thought about this when I was watching it. It begs the question, is that like a microaggression for us? Is it that because they're not white, we think they're more scary because that's what society has told us? Like, especially in the movie, you know that people are supposed to be scared of the Puerto Ricans because they're Puerto Rican, because they're brown. But if you were going to try to make both of these gangs actually gangs, you should have made the white kids more intimidating instead of like, for me, I mean, yes, it probably is a little bit because that's when you're watching the movie, you're obviously supposed to think that the Hispanic people are going to be more aggressive, but I also think their tactics were just better. Bernardo had a really good way of like saying things without saying them, or even when he did say them, like you took it seriously, but he could also be like really smooth and like whatever. And Riff was just kind of like a little kid throwing a temper tantrum. And it's like, I'm not scared of you. I'll just kick you and you'll go away. Like, so I don't know. I think that is a good question to ask and kind of like think about, but we can talk about that another time.
No, I mean, it absolutely 100% makes sense because the thought popped into my head a couple of times in the 2.5 hours watching this movie. But it's still something that, knowing me and how I feel, I would like to believe that that's not the case. But, there's still, like you were saying, ways that our brain has been programmed to work.
For sure.
And, what's going on between our ears may not always be the way we're intending it to come out or come across.
Because it's interesting. I think if you are a Hispanic person watching this, you probably would be more scared of the white people, even if they do, in our opinion, look like doe-eyed little babies.
Yeah.
It's like they have a reason to be scared because they know they're not wanted there.
Yeah.
And then they have to be ready for a fight.
We're conditioned to believe that which is different is to be feared.
Yep, which is fucking stupid. But
so,
all right. Well, did you have anything else?
I would 100% agree. As far as the shit that doesn't work goes, I think we pretty much covered it.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the good stuff.
So, yeah. So, my honest to God first good point for this movie is the fact that I really feel like if Shakespearean language is not your cup of tea, this way of experiencing Romeo and Juliet is a very worthwhile and capable way for you to be able to experience the whole Romeo and Juliet aspect. Because I mean, I know it's not literally taken word for word from Shakespeare, but for the most part, every aspect of the story is morphed into what this movie is. I mean, you've got,
this is a good adaptation.
You don't have the warring families, you have warring gangs.
Right.
But, even like the opening of the movie, the way they come into like the sky views of New York and all of that. I mean, it isn't necessarily ripped directly from Shakespeare, but it is ripped from a different version of Romeo and Juliet that came out decades later,
Yeah. I mean, it's
starring
just
Leo and
updated. Yeah.
Claire. Yeah, but yeah, it's
And it was relevant to the time period, which I think is important.
yeah, which helps make things resonate more with an audience. Where if you're not in that mindset, thinking about trying to watch something from whatever century it was that Shakespeare wrote these plays, it may not be. I'm not that interested in it. I don't
Yeah.
care because for most
Well, that
people,
language is hard to follow.
yeah, and most people, all Shakespeare is something that they're forced to read in high school,
Right.
and
Because it's
as you
not
know as
modern
well as
English. So,
yeah, and you know as well as I do, when you're forced to do something you don't want to do, it isn't going to sink in as well as it's intended to.
right.
So,
I agree.
so yeah, hats off to them for making a relevant adaptation of Romeo and Juliet.
For sure.
What was something else that
Um,
you thoroughly enjoyed about the movie?
I mean, I love the choreography. All the Latin dancing and even all the other dancing, like all of the choreography is just so beautiful. The romantic scenes between Tony and Maria are just so like you really feel their passion, even though they just met and this is ridiculous. Like, obviously, I mean, same thing with Romeo and Juliet, and they were like 13, but you really do feel their passion and they're singing and they're dancing.
Mm-hmm.
I love the dance scene. All the choreography and all the music is just like spot on. And for some reason, when they're on that balcony scene, like, and he gives her the kiss goodnight on the forehead, it just melts me. It's just like it's so sweet. Like I love it. Um, so yeah, the choreography and the music are amazing.
Yeah. Well, and the performances in this movie are amazing to begin with, but Natalie and Rita Moreno are just
Amazing.
head and shoulders above everybody in this. I mean,
Yeah.
you can tell Natalie's been around the block, and it's the second time in a year that she's been on an evening at the movies. So,
Yeah.
award for her for that one.
And yeah, Rita Moreno is so amazing. The America song, which I had to say while watching this, why is that America song still accurate? um, but I really love that performance with the guys versus the girls, and it's like the good America versus the bad America. But Rita Moreno just steals that entire performance. Like she's just
Free in
amazing.
America.
Yeah. 12 to
Not
a
really.
in America. Yeah, but it does kind of speak to you're coming from Puerto Rico, an island that is devastated by hurricanes, that is very poor, that has all this stuff, and you come to America, and yes, you technically can be whatever you want, but as being a brown person, you already have the odds
Can
stacked
you?
against you. Exactly. No, you really can't. Which is, again, just goes back to the point of I don't understand how any group of immigrants thought America's was theirs when they immigrated there. Just because you're a second generation or a first generation American, why do you think you belong more than people from an American territory who came to New York? Like,
Yeah.
it boggles my mind that so many people wanted to come here and have all this, opportunity, but they didn't want other people to do the same thing. It's just so fucking weird to me. But anyway, that
Well,
song and
I
that whole
mean,
performance is great.
oh yeah, I love the music. I love the choreography.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay.
Yeah, those two songs are probably, I think, the two that I've heard elsewhere in pop culture.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You hear I feel pretty all the time.
Yeah, and I know America has been trickled out into. I mean, uh, even Metallica sampled it for their "Don't Tread on Me" to a certain
Oh,
extent,
okay.
lightly
Nice.
sampled, but yeah, part of the. I want to say the kind of drum beat, kind of bass thing,
Yeah.
kind of trickled its way into "Don't Tread on Me." So,
Hmm. And yeah, the lyrics
uh,
are still so. I mean, he's like, she's like, I'll get a terrace apartment. And he's like, better get rid of your accent. Like, it's just, why is it still true? But yeah, all the
I'm not.
props to Leonard Bernstein and Stephen Sondheim. Like, just wrote an amazing story, wrote amazing songs, great choreography. And obviously, the choreographers are different, but whatever, they took all this from the Broadway show, and I love all the dancing. So good. But I love dancing, and I particularly love Latin dancing. The Argentine tango is my favorite dance of all time. It's so sexy.
Yeah, that would be the rare occasion that I do watch Dancing with the Stars. That I love it when they pull out the Argentine tango.
Oh yeah, I don't even watch it anymore, but I will go back and pull up every single Argentine tango and watch it because it is like the most provocative, intense, just like sexy thing I've ever seen in my life. I love it.
Yeah.
I could never do it, but yeah.
Oh God, I'd
Um.
fucking kill myself,
Oh yeah.
and you would too. So don't deny it.
Oh yeah. No, there's no way. So
So,
okay, I have a
uh,
question. So
yes,
obviously, to get to the kind of Romeo and Juliet twist, we had to get to the lie that somebody is dead. And so, how we get that is Anita is sent by Maria to go tell Tony that she's been detained. She can't get there on time, but she's going to get there later. And then Anita shows up, and all of those jets like start assaulting her. And I'm not going to lie, the first time I saw this, I was really scared that was going to be a rape scene. And I, of course, knowing what I know
I think
now in
that was how it was.
1961, I think it was
I think
supposed to
that's
be
how they
till
were.
the, yeah.
Till Doc walked in and broke it up.
So I guess the question is, do you blame Anita for her lie? I don't. Her lover just got
No.
murdered by one of those guys, and they just tried to
Well,
attack
she was
her.
pissed
Like,
and she was upset. I'm not
and she's
saying
trying to
that excuses
protect
it,
Maria.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
I don't blame her for lying after she realized who she thinks these guys are is actually right in that moment, which isn't really right, but in that moment they've just attacked her
yeah,
when she is on their turf, trying to be polite, trying to be nice, and is way outnumbered, and they are attacking her. I don't blame her for saying, fuck this shit, ain't my shit, and it's not going to be Maria's shit either. We're out of here. Um, so yeah, as much as it sucks, I do not blame her.
no, not at all. Um, was there anything else positively that you wanted to cover before we moved on?
I don't think so. I think we covered it. This movie is amazing.
Well, there's a reason why it's the #2 greatest musical of all time.
Somehow, somewhere. Oh, that scene and then how they bring it back when Tony dies. Oh my God, that song rips me apart. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's a
And
very emotionally packed movie.
very. I will say for what she had to work with and whatever, I feel like Natalie Wood did a good job with her accent. definitely when she's saying, you could hear it break because, she's like
Yeah.
singing, but it didn't feel like it was like a caricature of a Hispanic accent. So I thought she did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot worse. Al Pacino. Just saying.
I mean, Al Pacino's wasn't bad.
No, but it wasn't
Cubans
great
have pretty
either.
thick accents. No, I mean, I guess, yeah.
I mean, the whole him and Scarface.
I mean, you got to blame Hollywood for not casting a Cuban actor. But
Well, and
yeah,
we're
if
far
we
enough
had
past
any.
the 1960s where, yeah, it shouldn't have been a whole, civil rights thing.
But yeah.
We're 20 years past that point, so they easily, let's cast somebody that's Cuban, not Italian.
Right. And again, put him in the dirty dark makeup.
Because that's what Hollywood does.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All
So,
right.
do you have a top 5 list that you would like to share with our amazing listeners?
I do. So my top 5 is going to be my top 5 favorite Broadway musicals that I have seen live. Now, when I say live, I don't mean on Broadway because I've only seen one show on Broadway, but I've seen these performed in a theater in some capacity, and of all the ones I've been to, these have been my favorites.
I wonder what your number 1 is going to be.
I wonder. I don't know. Could it be the one I saw on Broadway? We'll see. I haven't seen as many musicals as I thought I had live, which kind of bums me out. So, making a list for that. But I have one honorable mention, and it is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Great show. Highly recommend. Number 5 is going to be Grease. Grease is Grease. I love it. It's awesome. Seeing it performed live after I've seen the movie so many times, it's just like, yeah, it's fine. It's cool, but whatever. Number 4 is Oklahoma. Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains. Okay, sorry. Oklahoma's
How
a great
did I
show.
know you were going to love Oklahoma?
I do love Oklahoma. Number 3 is Legally Blonde, the musical. Highly recommend this to anybody that hasn't seen it. I like when they take movies and make them into musicals. I really want to see Shrek the Musical. I was a little nervous about Legally Blonde because it is one of my favorite movies. It's very near and dear to my heart, but the musical was fantastic. Number 2 is South Pacific, which we will be covering next week or the week after. But one of my favorite musicals in general, and seeing it live was amazing. And obviously, number 1 is Hamilton, because I saw it on Broadway at the Rogers Theater, and I love Hamilton, obviously. So that was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I know, right? This is brand new information.
Especially considering Sunday, you literally said it was your favorite musical of all time.
Yeah, I don't know if it's in the mix of the top 3, but for live performances of musicals that I have seen, it is absolutely my number 1. And yes, partly because it was at the Rogers Theater, but also just because Hamilton's fucking amazing. So anyway.
Yeah.
As we've already discussed. Alexander Hamilton. He's dead.
All right. So
okay.
I went with best Romeo and Juliet adaptations. I really thought there was a lot more clear cut by the book Romeo and Juliet adaptations. It turns out you have to add the very loosely based adaptations as well, and one of those actually will pop up somewhere in my top 5. But,
okay.
All right. So number 5, I have no honorable mentions on this one, by the way, just because of the fact.
Yeah, because there's not that many.
Very limited field. But number 5 is going to be Romeo and Juliet.
Aww.
starring James McAvoy and the ever amazing Emily Krasinski.
Romeo and Juliet's adorable.
Did you just freeze?
No, you did. I'm moving. Oh, there you go. Okay.
I must have frozen.
Yes.
What? Oh, that's that thing. My flag. I was like, what is
Okay.
this hanging down in the middle of my damn screen? All right, number 4. Shout out to the month of May on an evening at the movies. But again, very loosely based on
Yes.
Romeo and Juliet. Romeo Must Die.
Yeah, since
Jet
neither of
Li
them
and
die, very loosely based. Yes.
yeah, Jet Li and the ever great Aaliyah.
Rest in peace.
Now we get into the sticky points as to which one of these 3 is going to be 3, which one's going to be 2, and which one's going to be 1. Because if you've got any kind of a brainstem, you know what the next 3 are going to be. But
Yeah.
So number 3, we're going to go back a little bit in time to 1996. Leo and Claire Danes,
Oh,
Romeo and
okay.
Juliet.
So you think the Olivia Hussey one is better than that one? Okay. That's fair.
Well, I mean, it's the first Shakespeare movie that I ever saw. Granted, I didn't see it until high school. But
Yeah. I mean, same. Okay.
Olivia Hussey is not anything bad to look at either,
Yeah, she was gorgeous.
especially back in 1968. So,
Yeah.
well, and I say that only because coming in at number 2, 1968's Franco Zeffirelli film Romeo and Juliet, starring Olivia Hussey. Horror fans all know, though, Norma Bates from Psycho 4. But
Norma.
and then number 1 from the year 1961. West Side Story. Again, technically not Romeo and Juliet, but it is basically, if I had to go with, I mean, comparing Romeo Must Die and West Side Story, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
West Side Story is more Romeo and Juliet than Romeo Must Die is. So.
Very, yes.
All right. So, my Plobster. Are we ready to see if you're a stalker or not?
Yes.
All right. 5 out of 5. What do you get? Or out of 5, what do you give it?
You know, I didn't even think of anything, so now I've got to think of something on the fly. So like I said, this movie is beautiful. The choreography is great. The cinematography for 1961 is great. The music's great. The performances are great. It is a little problematic at points, but obviously watching it through a more recent lens. But I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 stabby knives at the Rumble.
So close.
Okay.
So close. When we get to my 4 out of 5, then, or 4.5 out of 5, you'll see where I went with it, though. But yeah, for everything that Amanda just said is reasons why to fall in love with and respect this movie. It's great. It's entertaining. Yeah, it can be problematic in places, but the music is great. The choreography is great. The cast is great. The concept behind the movie is great. Like everything. And honestly, and no disrespect to everybody else, but how can you go wrong with performances by like that from Natalie Wood and Rita Moreno? Like
Yeah.
literally. So yeah, I'm going 4.5 beat it rumbles out of 5.
Nice.
So see, I went with adding the whole beat it in there just so I could make sure that there's probably a very small chance that you were going to grab that adjective at and add it in there.
Fair. I did
So,
not.
so, but you did get the knife stabbing rumble though. That's why I was
Yeah.
like, so close.
I should have gone war council meetings at candy stores.
Oh, jeez.
Again, how are we supposed to take these fuckers seriously? Their meetup is at a candy shop. Anyway.
No, it's like, well, no, I think that was one of the other things that I popped into my head while I'm rewatching the movie. It's like I sat through 5 or not 5. Getting to part 3 though, it felt like the last one was 5 movies long. But I sat through Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Godfather 3, and like I don't think you ever heard, you know, war council, blah blah blah. Blah. I mean, it's like, yeah, there was meetings between the families and things
Yeah.
of that, but it never sounded as cheesy as it did in West Side Story.
Meanwhile, the Jets
Just
are
my
like,
own
I'll take
personal
you
opinion.
to the candy shop. I'll let you lick the lollipop.
I
uh,
still, when I think about them looking like a 1950s freaking boy band, I still come back to the whole New Edition and Candy Girl. No, never mind. I'm not. We're not
yeah,
getting kicked off of YouTube this week. So,
whatever.
all right.
All right. Well, that was fun.
So we can't wrap up the episode again without thanking the viewers slash listeners for being here every week. You guys are incredible, amazing. Um, Welcome to be a part of my war council anytime you want. Um, all the great things. We appreciate you. We love you guys. Um, let's see. Coming up on an evening at the movies, though, we have Little Shop of Horrors, hopefully with Dre coming up very soon. South Pacific Hairspray, and then because it's going to be here before we know it, get your pen and papers out because we've got Practical Magic coming up in August. We've got Deathly Hollows 1 and 2 with Chris and Gene coming up. We've got Willow coming up, and we've got Now You See Me coming up in August as well.
For Magic Month. I'm the Magic Man.
I
Now
had it
you
all
see
written
me?
down. I
Now
wasn't
you
leaving one of those out. As well, it did get brought up a couple weeks ago though that in I believe it's being negotiated as for October. A long archived podcast that everybody knows and loves will be returning on a semi quarterly basis, I guess. But hopefully, we are planning to bring you our first episode of Literature Reapers in October. So be on the lookout for that. As well, when I can get the logistics of it figured out, thank God I still have a couple months. We will also be launching video episodes of Literature Reapers as well. So
All
you
right.
have all of that to look forward to. But yeah, lots of great stuff coming up over the next few months. more themes, more shenanigans, more everything. So stay tuned for all the good stuff. And co-hostess, would you like to take us home?
I will. Before I do that, got to say my obligatory plea to Christopher Walken while you're still with us. Please tell us what happened to Natalie Wood. You're the only one who can still tell us. Please do it, because the party line just isn't partying. Like, come on now. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go research Natalie Wood's death. There's a whole podcast about it. There's all kinds of stuff about it, and it's very sus. And I still stand by that Robert Wagner killed her. But anyway, all right. So thank everybody for watching and listening. And we hope you like this episode, and we hope you come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye.
Peace and hair grease, people.